Roger Stanley was a former state lawmaker and very connected. He was under the George Ryan regime. He got a couple of really good perks. When Ryan was Secretary of State, he worked there, was able to double his pension in 6 weeks. And then after that, he became this figure in federal court circles because he was a major cooperator in the Operation Safe Road investigation, which eventually led to George Ryan. He provided a lot of information, which ended up opening some doors and explaining things with Scott Faywell, who was a top aide to George Ryan. His nickname was the Hog because he had this big appetite, as they would say, for connected contracts, politically connected contracts. He just passed away, and in his death notice from his family, it said he was, quote unquote, living the good life in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is relevant because that's where, back in the day, he was taking some politicians to Costa Rica to wine and dine them in order to get contracts, and he ended up fessing all this up to the feds. He was indicted twice, and because he cooperated so substantially, he got a 2-year sentence, which was very light. So that's kind of what we learn in the city is the first one on the bus gets the best seat. He talked, he got a light sentence, and lived the good life in Costa Rica. Derrick Smith's trial is starting this week. He's charged with bribery. He's caught on tape allegedly taking this bribe, and the case seems really cut and dried, and so he's rolling the dice and going to trial. Obviously, that's his right, but if we've learned from anything in that building, it's if you bet against the feds and lose, you will pay a big price. And if you cooperate, then you might end up with a little sentence in your death notice saying you were living the good life in Costa Rica.